When the earth starts to settle, God throws a stone at it. And believe me, he's winding up.
So, day after the shooting, what do we know now? We know the ICE officer's name. We know the name of the lady. We know complete and full, heartfelt backstory of this poor mother of three who wasn't even into politics and all this shit. And we know about this officer who previously this year was drugged by a car. But at the end of the day, a woman is still dead. All these people going through all this shit. It's ridiculous. And everybody's playing the whole, well, if ICE wasn't there, she wouldn't have been there. It's like, well, she shouldn't have been there in the first place. But ICE was there. Yeah, well, if the illegals weren't there, then ICE wouldn't be there. Well, like, dude. And everybody keeps reminding me that she has a 6-year-old kid. And I'm like, dude, I probably care about her 6-year-old kid more than she did. She was the one who was like, alright, sweetie, we're going to leave you with the babysitter. Mommy's going to go fuck around with the police. The wife was heard saying that she forced her to go down there or talked her into going down there to do it. All new analysis of all the same angles and all the new angles and all this, that, and everybody's pointing out the wheels spinning. Everybody's pointing out how the officer was visibly hit by the car. Everybody's pointing out that he was limping afterwards. It's excessive force. Shouldn't have shot her. He should have just jumped out of the way. Should have shot her in the leg. Should have shot out the wheels. Like, dude. Here we go again. A bunch of mommy sleuths coming up with all sorts of fucking angles and shit. And here's what's going to happen. Donald Trump is the President of the United States. They're going to point to all of the evidence and say, look, here's essentially what happened. She was talked into going down there to obstruct. This had been going on probably for the better portion of the day. I imagine it's some sort of thing where they're like leapfrogging each other or something like that. I'll block this intersection, and then when they tell me to move, I'll comply, and you block the next intersection. And then the third person blocks the intersection after that, and then the first person drives up. Some sort of fucking something like that, whatever. They're just stopping them up, just doing what we've seen so many videos of these people doing for a fucking year. just getting in the way, raising the tensions, making it more dangerous. And we're going to find that out. That's going to get confirmed somehow. I'm sure they have dash cameras. I'm sure they have body cameras. Fuck. We're going to find out that she actually did hit him. The whole masked man in an unmarked car coming up to your door, what do you do? And I'm like, well, if I look over at them and they're in full tactical gear that says police on the front of their chest, I'm probably going to comply with their commands. And, like, look, man, people are bringing up a video of Ron DeSantis saying that if you are being mobbed by people and they're surrounding your car and they're getting aggressive and violent, then you have every right to run them down. What that has to do with this situation, I don't know. Because a mob of a few dozen people is not 3 officers surrounding your vehicle ordering you to shut it down and exit. That's another thing. They were giving conflicting orders. They were telling her to move, and then they were telling her to get out of the car. Yeah, she was in the way. They told her to move. She fucking around, and they were like, you know what, fuck this shit. I'm done with this lady fucking with us. And they decided to arrest her. At that point, it's get out of the car. This is a very common, like, thing that people always go to in police interactions. And it's like, all the old tired arguments coming back out. At the end of the day, she shouldn't have been down there. Don't purposefully go out to obstruct official police business. I sit at home all day and I watch videos and I play games and I fuck around and do whatever the hell I want to do. Because that is the life I've chosen for myself. Right? And my interactions with the police are infrequent. I recently got a traffic ticket. One of those fucking stupid cameras got me. Because the way they set them up in Ohio is they'll set up a camera in a 1 mile stretch of road that is 35, but it's 50 all the way up until you get to that 35, and then after that 1 mile, it goes back up to 45. So, you get caught by those every once in a while if you're not paying attention, and I wasn't paying attention. So, that is my last interaction with a police person. And I even had an interaction with a cop who was pissed at me. Pissed at me. Because he was like, dude, you just burned through that intersection and you were going 90 miles an hour. And I'm like, sir, I was not going 90 miles an hour. I'm like, you're out of your fucking mind. I did not go through the intersection. I'm like, look at the car. I was at Firebird. I'm like, look at the car I'm in. I'm like, I was stopped at the exit. I'm listening to Nirvana. The beat kicked in. The light turned green. My foot went down. I started at the lines. And like, he was shaking. And I was resisting to it. I was disputing the claim. And I think he wrote me up for 85 or something like that. And I fought it, and he didn't show, so that was just it. And I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. And that was it. And that's the way the law works. You know what I mean? Like, but I complied. And here's the funny thing. When I went through the intersection, as the light turned green, I saw the cop coming up this way, and I knew. I was like, alright, I'm in a fucking speed car. I am going fast. I had to have been going at least 50 or something like that. And I knew, alright, I'm going to get pulled over. So I just pulled off to the side of the road. You know, turned the car off, threw the keys up on the dashboard, got my fucking license and my insurance card out, and had the window down ready with all the shit when he walked up. And he walked up, like, ready to draw. And I'm like, dude, like... That's the worst interaction I ever had with cops. Other than that, I find that if you are respectful and compliant, everything just kind of goes smooth. You take your fucking ticket, you go home, you throw it down and go, fuck! That's what I did when I got home with that fucking thing. I got home. Fuck. And that's about what you can do. And I could try and fight it, fuck it, whatever. It's my right to face my accuser. Bring that fucking camera in here. I want to talk to it. I could do that shit, or I could pay the $120 or $70 or whatever the fuck it is, and just don't care. I pay my stupid tax and move on with life. But like, when they were rioting up in Cleveland during the George Floyd shit, I was working with a guy and he's like, you going up to Cleveland? And I'm like, for what? And he's like, they're, you know, doing the thing up in Cleveland. And I'm like, no, man. I'm like, and don't go up there. I'm like, don't go out to a place where people are going to be committing crimes. I'm like, I'm not saying that you're going there to commit crimes. I'm not saying you're going up there with people that want to commit crimes. I'm not saying that you're going there to look to commit crimes. But there are going to be people there that are going to be looking to commit crimes. And just don't go there when the police move in. Just go, all right, we're protesting, done. And, you know, I voiced my opinion. And fucking go home. Like, at that point, it's just not worth it. It isn't worth it. For people that siphoned $9 billion out of this country, this is what it's about. This is what we're doing. The militia of the people has been mobilized against the federal armed forces. Like, people are pointing out this is why we have 2A. Really, this is why we have 2A. We have the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, so that those arms can be used against the federal government enacting the enforcement of the law against people who are committing crimes. Like child molesters and shit, man. Like, you assholes are defending child molesters while you constantly remind us to never stop talking about the Epstein files. Why? Well, because they were child molesters, and we don't like child molesters. Except for all the illegal child molesters, they're cool. They enrich us. What? And Tim Walz all but declared war. He actually said the words. I couldn't hear the question because they're retarded in Minnesota and they can't fucking audio things well. But his answer to the question was, well, we've never been at war with the federal government before. And Tim Walz wonders why people call him a retard. Dude, you had better not be at war with the federal government. Like, because I gotta tell you, man, the Minnesota National Guard, don't do that to those people. Don't be stupid. Quit fighting on behalf of criminals. Please. 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 Like, what is this? You people just hate Donald Trump and this country so much. You want it all torn down so much. You so much want to be slaves to people that are not native to this country as some sort of, this is the way it should have been, the British should have come to this country and enslaved themselves to the Native Americans. This is the America that this is your American dream. That we should have to work so that other people can sit at home and play with their kids all day. So that to the tune of millions of dollars per person, people can just have their lives subsidized by us. And you wonder why all of the citizens don't have free health care? Because all of the illegals are getting that money. Y'all motherfuckers are like, this is what's happening. Do you feel safer? Are eggs cheaper? Do you have free health care? No, because you dumb fucks are going out there causing problems, stopping the police force from arresting the people who are stealing the money that could be used to give you free health care. It's just dumb. It's just dumb shit. Like, how do you know you're in a cult when the things you do make no fucking sense? That's how you know. But at the end of the day, kid is an orphan. A woman is dead. A guy's gonna have fucking to go through having done that. The whole country is gonna be involved in this investigation. We're gonna have all the mommy sleuths digging in. Can't wait till Candace Owens tries to pin this on Israel. No, because, like, alright, look, because you see, he was off to the side of the car as the car was hitting him in the hip and pushing him off to the side. So there's no way he could have shot through the front windshield. That bullet hole in the front windshield is actually from a sniper rifle from up on the roof from an Israeli Mossad agent who wants to fuck with our country because we're not giving them enough of our money. Because we're giving too much of it to the Somalians. I can't wait till Candace comes out with that hot take. It's going to be amazing. Oh, and the amount of people that are on X breaking this shit down point by point. The people that are on YouTube. I've watched 15 people watch that video in super duper slow frame by frame motion in MGM Technicolor. And I've seen every one of them come to a different fucking conclusion. And this is why the mommy sleuths don't come into court to produce evidence. Because they're retarded. This is why there needs to be an investigation. And speaking of the investigation, did you hear that the Minnesota police, the Minnesota state enforcement agencies, have been told to go fuck off? I wonder why. Because they have already had orders to not cooperate with federal law enforcement. Which is why when Tim Walz comes out there and goes, why doesn't ICE just tell us, hey, we're going to be here, we're going to be doing this? Because you guys will go there and tell those people, hey, they're coming to go do this. That's part of your, like, sanctuary shit. is you're giving these people sanctuary because you're cooperating with the criminals. Because you're a rogue state, apparently, that is at war with the federal government. Oh my God. So, yeah. It'll be interesting to see how the investigation goes. But I'm pretty sure I know how the investigation is going to go. And I'm pretty sure what the reaction is going to be to the results of the investigation. The people who are on the right are going to go, see, she hit him. He shot her. She hit him with a moving vehicle. That constitutes a weapon. For everybody who's saying that she was unarmed. Unarmed, saved for the 1 ton, 2 ton SUV that she was spinning the wheels at the man toward. Like, and the people on the left are going to say that because the Minnesota State Police had nothing to do with it, everything that it's flat earth all over again. Because the Minnesota State Police didn't have anything to do with it, and it was only an investigation by the FBI, and because nobody trusts Cash Patel anymore because, oh my God, Cash Patel is fucking up the Epstein thing, so of course, he's going to be overseeing personally this shit too, and they're going to find out that it was, self-defense. And everybody that doesn't like that already is going to say, I don't like that still. And then we're really going to get the riots because there's no justice in this world and there's no justice in this country. And the federal government is just Gestapo and they're just killing people in the streets because they just don't care. And then this is going to be the new school shooter. Suicide by cop. This is going to be the new school shooter trend. We're going to have activists going out there and sacrificing themselves on the altar of the ideology so that they can continue to make the federal government look like everything that they've been telling us all this time that the federal government is. And the dummies are going to eat it up. And the smart people are going to go, what are you guys doing? And this is now a thing. I'm just telling you, this is going to be a thing now. We already have a picture that's going around of a guy who's, and there's a cop pointing a fucking, it looks like a really wicked, it looks like a underslung grenade launcher that he's shooting at him at close fucking range. And it's like, look what they're doing to this poor man. And if you'd seen 2 seconds previously, you'd have seen that poor man grabbing that gun and trying to wrest it from the officer. At what point the officer just full on puts it right up in his face and it just shoots a big of powder in his face. Or whatever the fuck that shit is. Bear gas. Oh, I don't even know. Cyanide. Agent Orange. Shot him right in the face with Agent Orange. Because the powder was orange, so hey. That can be the next meme. Whatever. It is what it is. The investigation is going to happen the way we all kind of know it's going to turn out. Because you can see the video, man. And it's a really, really tough case when you have a person who is down there knowingly for the purpose of committing obstruction of justice. An interaction happened. She shouldn't be there. She shouldn't be obstructing. She should have listened commands. There's about 15 reasons why this shouldn't have happened. And most of them reside with the decisions of the woman. And yeah, sure, the officer should have just dove out of the way like in a TV show. And let her speed off so that she can start running lights and going in excess of the speed limit so that she can get away from ICE, possibly endangering other people. And well, yeah, he is shooting and there's a bunch of people out there. And well, he is shooting at point blank. Well, the car did speed off afterwards. It hit another couple cars at a pole. And yeah, well, that is fucked up. And well, what does that show? I mean, she had her foot pushed so far down to the floor that after being shot, that car just went. They're going to point at that. At some point, they're going to say, well, that kind of proves some sort of intent. No, that proves fear. But at the end of the day, a woman's still dead. And she shouldn't have been there. And he shouldn't have shot her, because he shouldn't have had to even draw his pistol. Shouldn't have been there, should have listened. The illegals shouldn't be here. ICE shouldn't have been there. None of this should be happening. Because for the past fucking entirety of my life, what we should have been doing was enforcing our laws and not attempting to import a voting bloc so that we can take over rulership of this country in perpetuity, turn it communist, and turn it into Venezuela. Not that I'm saying I wouldn't mind losing 42 pounds. I'm just kind of scared of the idea of being under 100 pounds. I don't know, man. It is what it is. But this is the world we live in. That is what is going on. That is what has happened the day after.